request everybody to please be seated. Distinguished guests on the dais, Chief Guest of the Day, Professor Azhar Kazmi, Guests of Honor, Professor Sita Mishra and Professor Salma Ahmed, Dean School of Management and Business Studies, Professor Syed Nadimul Haq, Head Department of Management, Professor Sana Beg, esteemed guests from different universities, faculty members, participants from across the globe, research scholars and students. A very good afternoon. I, Dr. Varda Sagir, Assistant Professor, Department of Management, along with my colleague, Dr. Azmi Khan, Assistant Professor, Department of Management, take this opportunity to welcome each one of you to the valedictory function of the two-day International Conference on Sustainability and Digitalization, ICSD 2024. Our Registrar, Sir Dr. M.A. Sikandar, will be soon joining us. The themes of the conference, sustainability and digitalization, are not only relevant, but also crucial in shaping the future of our industry and society, and thus paving the way for more resilient and sustainable economies. Digitalization is revolutionizing how we interact with the environment, from monitoring ecosystems to conserving resources, to influencing markets and consumer behavior. It is helping us in finding out ways to have a strong and resilient financial system. By leveraging digital technology responsibly, we can tackle several environmental challenges and adapt to the effects of climate change and guarantee the well-being of our planet and future generations. In the last 2 days, more than 100 research papers were presented in diverse fields from marketing, corporate finance, AI, healthcare, education, public policy, HR, entrepreneurship, among others. Before we proceed with today's address from our esteemed dignitaries, it's time to express gratitude and felicitate the guest.
For this, I would request our Professor Syed Nadimul Haq, Dean School of Management and Business Studies, and Professor Sana Beg, Head Department of Management, to do the honors and present a bouquet of flower, memento, hamper, and to our guest of honor, Dr. Sita Mishra, Professor IMT Ghaziabad. I further request Dean Sir and Head Ma'am to present a bouquet of flower, memento, and hamper to guest of honor, Professor Salma Ahmed, Chairperson, Department of Business Administration, Aligarh Muslim University. Now I request Dean, Dean, Dean Sir and Head Ma'am to present a bouquet of flower, memento, hamper to our chief guest, Professor Azhar Kazmi, renowned academician author, ex-visiting faculty of King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals.
Thank you, ma'am and sir. Our head of department, Professor Sana Beg, is known for her remarkable vision and commitment to academic excellence. With a passion for advancing knowledge and supporting student success, she has led the department with integrity, fostering an environment where creativity and collaboration thrive. Under her leadership, our programs have expanded and our students have consistently achieved remarkable outcomes. I now request ma'am to deliver the welcome address and recapitulate the events so far during the conference. Ma'am, please. Thank you, Varda. Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum. Esteemed Chief Guest of the Day, Professor Azhar Kazmi, sir, formerly associated with King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals, Saudi Arabia, and Aligarh Muslim University, and a well-known name. He needs no introduction to anybody here. Our guest of honor, Professor Seeta Mishra from IMT Ghaziabad. Another guest of honor, Professor Salma Ahmad, Chairperson, Department of Business Administration, Aligarh Muslim University. Sayyid Nadimul Haq sir, from Dean School of Management and Business Studies, delegates, faculty colleagues, my dear scholars and students. It is an honor and proud privilege to extend a welcome to you all on behalf of the Department of Management on this valedictory session of the International Conference on Sustainability and Digitalization, ICSD 2024. The Department of Management, Jamia Hamdard, successfully organized the two-day international conference on the 12th and 13th November. The conference brought together distinguished scholars, industry leaders, and experts to discuss pressing issues in sustainability and digitalization. The chief guest for the inaugural ceremony of the conference was Shri Saurabh Bhardwaj, Honorable Cabinet Minister, Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi. He spoke on the critical role of digital innovation in shaping sustainable solutions for the future. Professor Sayyid Nadimul Haq, Dean of SMBS, Jamia Hamdard, addressed the gathering, emphasizing the importance of collaborative efforts in achieving sustainable development goals. The session featured a series of insightful guests of honor, addresses from leading experts. Professor Ibohal Metai, a distinguished academic from Manipur University, delivered the theme address, offering a thoughtful and comprehensive overview of the core themes of the conference. We had another guest of honor, Dr. Amirullah Khan, member of the Telangana State Public Service Commission, who discussed the role of digital tools in enhancing public policy and governance for sustainable development, engaging the audience with thought-provoking questions on digitalization and sustainability. Professor K.K. Upadhyay, Chairperson of the Center for Sustainability and CSR at BIMTech, highlighted how businesses can use digital innovations to advance corporate social responsibility and contribute to long-term environmental sustainability, also noting the role of Niti Aayog in promoting sustainability in India. Professor Baharul Islam from IIM Kashipur joined us online, and he emphasized the importance of integrating
digitalization into sustainable business strategies, especially in emerging markets, framing both as key drivers of global development. Professor M. Akbar, formerly associated with the professor at IIM Lucknow, delivered the keynote address, exploring the evolving role of digital technologies like AI, machine learning, and big data in fostering sustainable business practices. He also stressed the importance of governance in driving technological solutions and suggested empowering communities to address environmental challenges. The session concluded with the presidential remarks by Professor M. Afshar Alam Sahib, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Jamia Hamdard, who underscored the importance of interdisciplinary research and the need for continuous collaboration to address the pressing challenges of sustainability and digital transformation. Following the inaugural talk, the conference continued with directors' talk on navigating the future, integrating sustainability with digital innovation for global impact. The same was moderated by Professor Shahnawaz Abdeen of the Department of Management. The session featured industry leaders including Mr. Asim Kumar, Director of Matri Aquatech, Ms. Isha Saxena, Unilever India Limited, Mr. N. Kishore Narang, Director of Nanix Technologies, and Mr. Mansoor Ali, Chief Sales and Marketing Officer at Hamdard Labs, Mr. Alok K. Brara, CEO India Infrastructure Research, and Mr. Junaid Khan, Associate Director at Allana Sons. The discussion there focused on how digital innovations are shaping business practices for sustainability. The speakers highlighted the role of advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, and data analytics in promoting greener and more efficient solutions across various industries. They explored how these innovations are enabling businesses to reduce their environmental footprint, improving resource management, and drive long-term sustainability goals. The session also addressed the importance of aligning digital transformation with global sustainability objectives and how companies lead the way by integrating sustainable practices into their core business strategies for broader societal impact. On day 2 of ICSD, the HR conclave themed Navigating the Future, Integrating Sustainability with Digital Innovation for Global Impact, convened top HR leaders to explore human resources' pivotal role in advancing sustainability through digital transformation. The sessions were moderated by Ms. Manpreet Kaur Kohli and Dr. Shikha Gera. The session provided insights from senior HR professionals across diverse industries, each focusing how HR can champion responsible and sustainable business practices through innovative digital solutions. The key speakers in that particular session included Mr. Hadi Kamruddin, founder and managing director, Servocon International, and other HR specialists like Mr. Farhat Umar from Kenya, Mr. Sangeet Kumar from Fortis Healthcare, Mr. Tanuj Shukla from BHEL, and Mr. Faiz Mahmood from HR Leads. Panelists highlighted how digital tools can streamline and enhance sustainable practices, demonstrating the powerful impact these technologies have across industries. They emphasize that HR departments are central to driving their transformation, guiding organizations towards a future that is both responsible and innovative. The conference featured 10 presentation tracks on key themes such as marketing, finance, human resources, public policy and sustainability, corporate governance, AI and technology, entrepreneurship and trade, and a multidisciplinary track. These sessions were chaired by esteemed academicians from renowned universities. A total of more than 100 research papers were presented showcasing cutting-edge research on sustainability, digital transformation, and innovation. For each track, a Best Research Award will be presented to recognize the most impactful and innovative contribution. ICSD 2024 successfully brought together experts and academics to advance meaningful discussions on sustainability, paving the way for impactful research and collaboration in the years to come. Before I conclude, I would like to thank you all for your active participation and in making this conference come to life. I am indebted to our guests for having accepted our invite and gracing the valedictory session. And let me inform the audience that two people on the dais have been my teachers at AMU during my MBA days. So, and it is an absolute honor to sit with you on the same platform. No words are enough to thank the conveners of the conference, Dr. Vasad Ahmad and Dr. Jamshed, and co-conveners, Dr. Vardha, Dr. Babar, Dr. Shafiq, Dr. Faizan, and Dr. Abdullah, and active participation from all other faculty colleagues. Naming everyone would be a little difficult, but I would rather mention one name, which is Dr. Noria, because she did the minute details and did it very dil se. So, my, so my special thanks to her as well, and of course to everybody else who were behind the scene working very hard to make this a success. Students and scholars have also contributed a lot in the conduct of this program, and I thank them and acknowledge their contributions. सबका तहे दिल से शुक्रिया. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, ma'am, for taking us through the activities the conference has seen. Your support, encouragement, and wisdom has truly inspired everyone here.
Our Dean, Professor Syed Nadimul Haq, has been an inspiring force throughout the school. His experience and unwavering commitment to the school's mission and vision has not only strengthened our academic reputation, but have also emphasized the importance of building a support, inclusive community, and encourages us all to pursue our best, instilling a culture of continuous improvement and high standards. Moving ahead, I request Professor Syed Nadimul Haq, Dean, School of Management and Business Studies, to provide his valuable insights. Sir.
In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, Chief Guest, Professor Azhar Kazmi, King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals, Guest of Honor, Professor Sita Mishra, IMT Ghaziabad, Guest of Honor, Professor Salma Ahmed, Chairperson, DBA, AMU, Dr. M.S. Sikandar, Registrar, joining shortly, okay. Professor Sana Beg, Head of the Department, distinguished guests, faculty members, research scholars, and dear students, very good evening. It is honor to address you at the valedictory session of our international conference on sustainability and digitalization. Over the past 2 days, we have witnessed an inspiring and insightful exchange of ideas, knowledge, and research findings that I believe will leave a lasting impact on everyone present here. This conference has brought together brilliant minds from academia, industry, and policy-making bodies, creating a unique platform to discuss the intersection of sustainability and digital innovation. From the expert-led session on research paper writing to insightful director's talk on navigating the future, integrating sustainability with digital innovation from global impact, the conference has been rich with thought-provoking content. The various paper presentations have illuminated different aspects of marketing, finance, HR, AI technology, entrepreneurship, and public policy, showcasing the multifaceted nature of sustainable practices across the disciplines. Our HR conclave featured industry experts who shared their experience and insights on navigating the future with sustainability and digital innovation, underscoring the critical role of human resources in fostering transformative change. Through this discussion, several key themes emerged. Collaboration is essential for integrating sustainable practices with technological advancement. Interdisciplinary approaches are crucial for solving complex global challenges. The importance of continuous learning and adaptation in the face of rapid digital and environmental change cannot be overstated. I am confident that the insights shared over these 2 days will not only enrich our understanding but will also inspire actionable strategies for real world applications. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the speakers, panelists, and moderators who dedicated their time and expertise to making this event a success. A special thanks to the organizing committee, faculty members, and support staff for their tireless effort in coordinating this comprehensive and impactful conference. To our participants, students, research scholars, your enthusiasm and engagement have been commendable. Your active involvement has enriched this conversation and highlighted the importance of continuous exploration and dialogue in the field. This conference marked not the end, but the beginning of the new chapter of collaboration, research, and practical implementation of the idea discussed. It is now up to each one of us to take this learning and integrate them into our professional practices, research pursuits, and educational curriculums. As we continue on this journey, let us strive to build a world where sustainability and digital innovation work hand in hand to create solutions that are both profitable and planet friendly. In conclusion, I hope this conference has equipped you with the new insight, sparked your curiosity, and motivated you to push the boundaries of your research and professional work. Let us go forward with a renewed commitment to champion sustainable digitalization, ensuring a positive global impact that resonates with the future generations. Thank you all once again for being an integral part of this conference. I look forward to seeing how the conversation and collaboration initiated here will evolve and make a difference in the coming years. Safe travels and best wishes to everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your constant support at all times, and your inspiring words have not only enlightened us but also has challenged us to think bigger and aim higher. The beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you. Moving forward, I consider it a privilege to welcome the guest of honor of today's valedictory function, Dr. Sita Mishra, Professor, IMT Ghaziabad. She has more than 28 years of experience in teaching, industry, and research, and her areas of research include consumer behavior, retail marketing, luxury marketing, circular economy, and sustainability. She was invited as a guest faculty at EM Strasbourg, France, Rouen Business School, France, Universidad del Pacífico, Peru, and SGH School of Economics, Poland. She has published more than 100 papers in various international and national conferences, book chapters, including the International Journal of Information Management, Journal of Strategic Marketing, International Journal of Retail and Distribution Management, International Business Review, and many more. She has contributed book chapters in various management books and edited a book on case studies in business management. She has also presented various papers in international and national conferences and is on the review panel of various international and national journals and conferences. She has been honored twice with Outstanding Paper Award by Emerald Literary Awards in 2018 and 2022. We look forward to your address, ma'am.
Thank you so much. First of all, esteemed Professor Azhar sir, and uh, it's actually a great honor for me to meet Professor Azhar here because since my childhood, I heard his name from my father, who was a professor in management, and it is first time I am meeting him in this university. So I think I should thank Jamia Hamdard to organize this conference and to bring both of us to the same platform. And so really I am feeling privileged to be sharing the dais with him because it's something like dream come true. And secondly, Professor Nadine, Dean, Professor Sana Beg, and Professor Salma Ahmed, I happened to meet them first time in this university, though I have a connection with this university last, say, I think around 8 to 10 years. But yes, of course, it's my pleasure to be the part of this conference. Uh, and first of all, I think I should congratulate the organizer to choose this topic, which is sustainability and digitalization. Uh, I'll refer and I'll share my viewpoint on this particular topic. And I'll start my say address by speaking on two things. I'll refer on one is on a global front, and secondly, why this is very much important from the India point of view. When we are looking for the global front, I'll refer to a survey, very recent survey by Arthur D. Little, uh, which has happened to be in a context of they actually surveyed around 246 CEOs of large companies having a revenue of more than 1 million US dollars and above. And in this survey, they actually found sustainability is the top driver for the growth of those companies, followed by the digitalization. And as a result, when this conference organizers chose this topic, this is making a sense to connect with this topic not only for the global level, but also, as I said, that is, we can connect it at the India level. That is how this topic is important. And I believe all of us are aware about Viksit Bharat mission 2047, which is 100th year of our independence. And India is on a drive to make uh, from the developing to developed country. And one of the biggest pillar for this is, apart from the economic growth and other, this is something which is sustainability. So the importance of these two topics and combining these two topics is very much pertinent, and it's very interesting to see that is a lot of papers were presented on this topic and connecting this. But whether to what an extent, because when actually we are looking at these two topics and how these two aspects are related, whether there's a convergence of that, whether these are very independent or they are connected, I think a lot of discussion has happened. And not only in the academic journals, because all of us as an academician, we are aware about what is happening and what kind of the research is published. But it is, which I think I'll speak on the three different front. That is how these things are important from the individual front. I'll talk about in terms of from the firm's point of view, as well as from the government, the importance of these three things. And starting with the organization's point of view, if we are talking about this, I think most of the organizations do recognize the importance of sustainability as well as digitalization for their as a growth engines, and which is very much important. And we see that is whenever they are coming up with their vision and mission, they are making these two as a important aspects. But most of the organizations either treat these two aspects very differently. That is, they are independent of each other. That is, they do talk about, they are do spending on the sustainability, they do spend on the digitalization, and they are just considering these as a independent. But when we are looking at that, how these two aspects are related, we can talk about in a way, because when actually we first hear the term sustainability and digitalization, this seems to be very much oxymoron, because when actually we are looking at that, whatever is the digitalization is, because digitalization is one of the major causes of green gas emissions, right? And as a result, they are triggering that, and they are one of the reasons for increasing the carbon footprint, and that is why people do talk about. But yes, we may consider the different frameworks and the different models that is how these two are related. So one side is these are the oxymoron, but yes, it is not the oxymoron, but we can consider. So second aspect is that is people have considered sustainability and digitalization as a two independent point of view, and they are spending more on these two fronts. Thirdly, when we are talking about is where people do see there's a connect, but what kind of the connection between these two, still that is not clear, and that is why it is making it more complicated to study these two topics. Thirdly, when we're talking about is the impact of the digitalization, people do talk about as academicians or the industry point of view, we see they do talk about is a negative impact, which is more known as the digital ruin, as well as even we do consider the positive aspect of that is how the digitalization has an impact on the sustainability. And as a result, I think in the last few years, a lot of terms have evolved, whether it is talking about in terms of the digitalization for sustainability, or vice versa, we can talk about is a sustainable digitalization. So it can be that is digitalization can be a tool for sustainability, or vice versa, even we can consider that is how we can make sustainable digitalization. So I think on all those fronts, we need to actually devote time and discuss that is how these two aspects are linked with each other. And as a result, even when we are talking about is in this context, uh, a lot of literature has been published which do talk about is which is a negative impact of digitalization on sustainability. That is how it is making an impact on the environment. And I think a lot of during the last 2 days, you must have heard a lot of papers which have talked about is the dark side of digitalization, which is making a negative impact on the environment, and how as a organizations they can consider it to reduce that, how they can mitigate on that aspect. Even I think we need to consider in a way different aspect of say I'll say the negative aspect, that is which might be in a way we may consider it uh, how your e-waste which is making an impact, how the carbon footprint of any activity, or we may talk about in the context of how the greenhouse gas emission which is related with any activity, or it might be the supply chain, how it is making an impact. So all those aspects I think we need to consider, and it is not only from that is we can consider that is there is a linkage, and this is making an impact on the from the organization front. I think as an individual front also we might consider that is how even we can contribute towards the positive aspect of sustainability. I'll just talk about one or two examples I think most of us are aware about, or even we enjoy watching televisions, right? And we enjoy laying down on the couch and just reading something, and simultaneously we are just watching television, that is, which is, might be a movie on the Netflix, and the binge watchers, right? So we are used to of these actions. But do we ever consider that is how this is making an impact on the sustainability? Is there any linkage of that is if you watch half an hour or 1 hour on a Netflix one movie, does it making any impact on the environment? Right? So this is from the individual front. I think we need to be very much conscious and aware about for each and every activity, whatever we are using. So it's a small activity. Even when we are talking about it, whenever we are enjoying, say, going through the internet, or we are just sending emails, or any of those activities, right? We consider it, or we are just using, going for the online gaming. As an individual, we enjoy all these kinds of activities, but to what an extent these activities are making an impact on environment. And I think when actually you consider this clock, which is an environmental clock, that is how these activities are making an impact, or I think there are many organizations which are actually making people more aware about the carbon footprint of each and every activity, and how this is important for the individual to take part, so that they can reduce their negative impact, what exactly it is making on the environment. And I think the list goes on. So it's not only from the organization's front, that is they need to work on the mitigation of that, but as an individual front, even simply, I think whenever we, after COVID, we have learned a lot, that is we enjoy virtual meetings. So rather than having a meeting, going there, and we think that is, it is something which is actually helping us in reducing environmental impact, right? Because we are not traveling from one point to another point. But it does not mean that is you are not creating any impact, negative impact on the environment. So even if you are virtually connected, you are sending emails, every action of yours has an impact on the environment. And I think as an individual, we should be more aware about all these impacts. Otherwise, even we think that is, I think the way how it is changing, we enjoy online shopping. even from my part also, I consider it is, I think, last 3-4 years after COVID, even I have not visited any particular physical mall. But does it reducing the environmental impact because I am not traveling to any place? No, it is not. Because even the online shopping, which is, you actually see that how it is making impact, because it is making us to buy more and more, give more and more orders. Number of the pieces we order, a lot many pieces, and as a result we see अगर नहीं चलेगा तो वापस चला जाएगा, right? But how it is making an impact on the supply chain of that, each and every activity is negatively impacting. And that is why when we are saying that is, it's the linkage or the convergence of the digitalization and the sustainability, it's not only that is, it's a question of importance or something which is from the organization point of view or the government point of view, where they need to consider that is how to actually address these issues. But I think as an individual also, we need to be very much aware about how to help it so that we can actually give our future generation a good environment. So with this, I'll finish my address, and thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your wealth of experiences and your generosity in sharing your knowledge and for motivating each of us to continue striving towards excellence. I now welcome our registrar, Dr. M.A. Sikandar, in the valedictory session of the conference. Please give a big round of applause. I now request our Dean, Professor Syed Nadimul Haq, and Head, Professor Sana Beg ma'am, to present a bouquet of flowers, memento and hamper to Dr. M.A. Sikandar, Registrar, Jamia Hamdard.
With these lines of Benjamin Franklin, tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn. It is my honor to introduce Professor Salma Ahmed. Professor Salma Ahmed is a faculty at Department of Business Administration and a former dean and currently serving as a chairperson at a Department of Business Administration, Aligarh Muslim University. With over 30 years of experience in academia, she holds a PhD and MBA from Aligarh Muslim University, and her research interests include supply chain management, project management, healthcare, and information technology. She has guided over 35 PhDs and published almost over 100 papers and attended and presented more than 60 conferences and national and international platforms. She has authored two books, one book on entitled How to Write and Analyze Cases, which was formally released in New Delhi in 2011. Notably, the book was also distributed as a part of a learning module to the selected 20 participants of the International Conference on Global Supply Chain organized by Malaysian Institute of Purchase and Materials Management in collaboration with Indian Institute of Materials Management in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia in 2011. She has a special interest in writing and analyzing cases and has her credit 17 cases and analysis in Vikalpa that is published by the Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. Two more books published by her involved Cases Unveiled, a multifaceted compilation, and India G20 Presidency, a synthesis of perspectives. She is on the editorial committee of the several journals, the prominent among them being Emerald Emerging Market Case Studies. She is being invited at many prestigious institutes as to conduct the faculty development program on writing and analyzing cases, business simulation games. Currently, she is also serving as a member in charge of Dawakhana Tibia College, Aligarh Muslim University, where she played a pivotal role in driving transformational change and blending academic with industry by applying the concepts of management. With this couplet, I would like to invite Professor Salma Ahmed. नहीं तेरा नशेमन कसर सुल्तानी की गुंबद पर, नहीं तेरा नशेमन कसर सुल्तानी की गुंबद पर, तू शाही है बसेरा कर पहाड़ों की चट्टानों में.
Thank you so much, Mohammed Azmi. Respected dignitaries on the dais, Dr. M.A. Sikandar, the Registrar of Jamia Hamdard, Professor Azhar Kazmi, the Chief Guest of this occasion, Professor Sita Mishra, Guest of Honor, Professor Syed Nadimul Haq, Dean, School of Management and Business Studies, and Professor Sana Beg, Head of Department, Department of Management, and faculty members of the dais and dear students. Thank you for giving me the honor here to. It's indeed an honor for me to be sharing a platform with my teacher, Professor Azhar Kazmi, and a management guru who really needs no introduction. Thank you, Professor Sana Beg and the organizing team for giving me this great honor. The conference was on sustainability, and sustainability is derived from the word sustain, which basically means to the ability to stay for long, ability of something to last for a long period of time. And sustainability therefore refers to avoidance of depletion of natural resources. The talk is of ESG, Environmental, Social and Governance Framework, which helps to evaluate a company's performance. Now, in this context, there are so many companies who are working on the area of sustainability, which have become conscious only after government regulation. But there are many companies who were conscious of it and have been working on it for years before the awareness emerged and the responsiveness, the response of different companies emerged. I would like to quote the example of one such company who was aware of the responsibility towards having a sustainable society, who were conscious of putting people before profits. And they went into forming this sustainable group in their organization much before other organizations followed. I'm referring to none other than the Tata Group and Ratan Tata's leadership and advocacy for sustainable business practices has been a key part of Tata Group's legacy, and that is what the Tata Group has been known for. Tata Group was ranked #1 in Asia Pacific as per the Global Scan Sustainability Leaders Survey of 2022, and prior to that, 2 years earlier, in 2020, Ratan Tata was conferred the title of Global Visionary of Sustainable Business and Peace by Federation of Indo-Israel Chamber of Commerce for his contribution towards epitomizing unity, peace, and sustainability. In his own words, in Ratan Tata's words, we should be sensitive to the environment in which we are working. We should be conscious of the environment in which we are working. And he talked about the disparity which exists in the society. And he said, let us come together to remove this disparity. Let us come together to bridge this gap. And in his own way, he also said that we should do something for the community we serve in. And there's a lot of community initiatives, sustainable initiatives in the community, which has been taken by the Total Tata Group. He talked about improving the quality of life. So therefore, the Tata company has been welcome everywhere where they want to open or set up their own organization. Any infrastructure they want to set up anywhere, they're welcome because they know the community is going to develop. There's a lot of initiatives which is being taken by them. Some of the initiatives I'd like to share with you. At Tata Steel, we talk of green technologies. At Tata Power, they talk of clean energy. So they promote wind and solar projects. There is also sustainable production processes. Then there is Project Alingana, a project undertaken by the Tata Group, which aims to embed sustainability into business strategy by focusing on decarbonization of their businesses and value chain, and also applying a systemic approach, that is of circular economy approach, to reduce resource use and waste and preserve and restore the natural resources. Tata Nano is also quoted to be a sustainable uh, motive that is making a transportation affordable for millions. Tata Trusts have made impactful contribution, countless contributions in fact, towards sustainable development in areas such as green energy, water conservation, biodiversity, and community development. Ratan Tata's emphasis has been for long on sustainable forums, and it forms a key part of the entire Tata's legacy, which in fact is transforming and spearheading sustainable business practices not only in India but at the global level as well. And there has always been a drive towards a more responsible future and a more responsible, ready industry on the whole. Now, I congratulate the team, Professor Sana Beg and her team, for organizing a conference on a theme which is much talked about, which is of great relevance, and where I can say not only India, where the entire world is moving towards, where the entire world is going. I am sure, as she shared, that there have been more than 100 papers. There have been papers from diverse streams, I think different functional areas, also with linked with digitalization. And as also quoted, there are both aspects. There are the positive sides, and there are also negative aspects of digitalization on sustainability, which we need to work on. I congratulate the entire team headed by Professor Sana Beg and the entire organizing team for a wonderful conference. Getting hold of 100 papers is not an easy job because we do hold conference and seminar and we know how difficult it is to really get response. Much work must have been started, the work must have been started, I think, months back, and in a very organized way, they have implemented it very successfully. My congratulations to the entire team headed by Professor Sana Beg, and I wish you the best for future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Your words of wisdom and experience have not only inspired us, but have also provided fresh perspectives and motivated us to reach new heights in our own journeys. Moving further, a good teacher can inspire hope, ignite the imagination, and instill a love of learning. Without much ado, let me introduce the chief guest of today's valedictory session, Professor Azhar Kazmi. Dr. Azhar Kazmi recently retired as a visiting professor of management at King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals, Saudi Arabia. He is a distinguished academician and author, having co-authored Strategic Management and Business Responsibility with Dr. Adila Kazmi. He has received several awards, including the Escorts Delhi Management Association Award, Best Book in Management Award, 1994, Ishan Award for Best Author in Management 1997, and Best Paper Award in the Indian Journal for Training and Development 2000. His publications, particularly his widely referenced textbook on strategic management, have become foundational sources for students and professionals alike. Professor Kazmi's approach bridges the gap between academia and industry, offering real-world strategies that empower businesses to anticipate challenges, seize opportunities, and drive sustainable growth. Dr. Kazmi has a PhD in management from Kurukshetra University, an MBA from the University of Rajasthan, and bachelor's in mechanical engineering from BITS Pilani. He has held multiple academic and administrative positions, including dean and director at various universities in India and Malaysia. He is also a member of editorial boards for 34 journals, a reviewer for 25 international journals, and a member of advisory board for 15 educational institutions. With extensive experience in supervising research, he has guided 11 PhD and 2 MPhil scholars, completed several research projects, and participated in numerous seminars and workshops worldwide. Dr. Kazmi has also contributed as a resource person, speaker, and trainer for various organizations, including academic institutions, industry associations, and defense services in India and abroad. He is a fellow of the Salzburg Seminar, Austria, and a member of Professional Association in India, Malaysia, and US. Additionally, he has served in leadership roles in various management associations in India.
Now, we would like to invite Sir for his words of inspiration with this couplet. बर्रे दुनिया में रहो गमज़दा या शाद रहो, बर्रे दुनिया में रहो गमज़दा या शाद रहो, कुछ ऐसा करके चलो या कि बहुत याद रहो, बहुत याद रहो.
May I request Sir to please share his valuable insights.
Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon to all of you. First of all, my dear students, let me say that I was a bit nostalgic meeting the students here because nostalgia in the sense that you seem so much like my own students from Aligarh. Examples of Sana and Salma here. So, very respectful, cultured, of course, and then very kind to to teachers. Students are not always kind. Let me tell you that. So dignitaries on the dais, starting from the other end, Sayyid Professor Nadeemul Haq Sahab, the Dean, and Sikandar Sahab, the Registrar, and Dr. Sita Mishra, and Professor Salma, and Dr. Sana. It was really a pleasure to meet all of you, especially I had just met Salma last week in Aligarh, and it was so pleasurable to meet her here again. And Sita, of course, was unexpected, totally from the blue, she's the daughter of my colleague, Professor R.S. Dwivedi, whom I have a lot of regard because of his academic work and, of course, as a person too. So I don't know whether I have seen Sita in her childhood, maybe when she was going to school with a similar ponytail, So maybe I don't remember her, but most probably I might have seen her. Salma and Sana are my students from Aligarh. It's such a pleasure because when Dr. Sana told me about the topic, I was immediately attracted to the topic because uh, the topic has two terms. I'll just come to that before I talk about the people, because I have met so many wonderful people here. Last night, uh, Jamshed Ma, he picked me up. Asad was there. Where is Asad? Can't see him here. Server. So these wonderful people, So Kanan, while we were coming, got a call from Noria. Noria I had never met, but we had corresponded because Noria contributed a case study to my textbook once. So it was a pleasure talking to her, and I regret that she offered me dinner, but I didn't accept her offer because when I went to the guest house and had to eat roti, dal, sabji, I was regretting not accepting her offer. Wonderful people, Shahnawaz Sahib. So he took me around the campus today to meet your vice chancellor. So it's really a pleasure to come to Jamia Hamdard after many, many years. In fact, it's so long back, I really can't recall. I recall the purpose for which I came, but I can't recall who were all there in the meeting and so on and so forth. So there was some planning was going on to start an MBA program at Jamia. It must be late 90s sometime. And a committee was formed, and I was from Aligarh, so I was made one of the members of that committee. And we had two meetings. So it was then that I visited Jamia, and then because of now this conference, uh, I have the good fortune to visit again. It's really a pleasure, let me tell you. I really consider myself fortunate to visit this great institution, great in many, many different ways, because of the mission of the founders and the vision of the founders and so on and so forth. And it's always also a pleasure, Sana and Salma, to attend a conference which is mainly peopled by students, young people, rather than all those dreary academic conferences, which of course I have attended many in my career throughout. So it's a pleasure to be with all of you, young people. One gets rejuvenated, when we meet people like you. So uh, I'm really thankful to Dr. Sana for providing me this opportunity and to the Department of Management of Jamia Hamdard. And now, about the topic, as I said, I was immediately, this attracted attention, not the two words, sustainability and digitalization, but the and in between. So that was something very interesting, because, uh, sustainability, I believe, is now, we have been talking about it for nearly 70 years. Sustainability is as old as I am, So, and digitalization maybe 60 years. So we have been talking about these terms. So these terms are not new. These terms are not new. Uh, why they are on the attention horizon? Possibly because we have destroyed the planet enough to make us realize that, look here, sustainability has to be thought of, it has to be talked about, and something has to be done about it. So that's the reason why sustainability is in our on attention horizon now. Digitalization also has been there, but this is not really a time when digitalization is the talk of the town. Information technology as a technology, the trajectory of the development is downwards. It's not upwards. It's not moving upwards. It's going downwards. So these are not terms that are new in any ways. But the thing that is new now is that and as I said, sustainability and digitalization. So many of the papers, I believe, must have focused on this relationship and the probable relationship also, as we can say, between these two. So, what could be the direction that we can see? As I see, the students have primarily two interests. One is one are those who are doing research, and you have quite a robust PhD program. And I was told that executive PhD program is also starting or has already started. So, from the research perspective, I think the focus now has to be, at least for the next decade or so, has to be on this relationship between sustainability and digitalization. For example, if an institution has digitalized, that means it has digitalized the information. What is digitalization? In simple terms, it is uh, the analog thing has to be digitalized, and that is what it simply is. And then we try to reap the advantages that come from efficiency that is done through digitalization. So that's basically the story of digitalization. So if an institution, for example, like an insurance company, does digitalization, what would it do? Well, the legacy structures, for example, large offices, network, geographical network, and so on and so forth, it would be investing a lot into that. So it can save on that by digitalization. So it can have online offerings of insurance policy, payment of premium, and so on and so forth. So all those functions, different functions, could be digitalized and made more efficient and therefore cost effective. And of course, all those efficiencies like time saving and so on happen. But the sustainability angle also has to be there. Like today morning session, HR enclave session, I think Mr. Shukla from BHEL, he was saying something about that even if we do some Google search, it costs us in terms of energy. So some power is spent, energy is spent, even if we make one search. So digitalization also has sustainability implications in the sense that it would have energy consumption and therefore uh, some pressure on resources, minimal though it may be in a single case, but collectively it makes a lot of impact. So that impact would have to be seen, and possibly measures would have to be evolved and so on and so forth. So we are yet in green territory now, and we would have to look to some research directions into uh, uh, living comfortably with both, digitalization, progressive digitalization with sustainability. So that could be the research thing. What could be the implications for students who are going to work? Well, when you're going to work, well, you'll have to see the practical implications of these things. So in managerial decision making, which you would be doing, you would have to keep these two things in your perspective in any planning you do. So whether that planning could be long term or even medium term or short term, you would have to keep these perspectives in mind. You would have to see what are the implications for sustainability of a particular decision that you take. For instance, you are in marketing, and if you want to uh, widen your distribution network, well, of course, you could widen it, but then you'll have to look into the implications, sustainability implications, plus the digitalization benefits that you get, but the cost that we'll have to have incur in terms of sustainability. So I think that these are the two uh, general directions that we have to think about. And this conference, I think it can spur thoughts in some of the research scholars here who take up these issues. Maybe do some initial literature surveys and so on. And maybe some of you who are doing your post-graduation courses, maybe you could think of going into research with these perspectives in mind. So that could be the thing. I believe this is the second edition of this conference, and I hope very much that there will be a third one too, in which possibly you could take up the implications of these two rather than individually. We have talked too much about sustainability and more so on digitalization. So I think we might need to focus on the conjunctions and uh, uh, superimpositions of these two very important issues which are there. So that's the message I have for you for this conference. It was a pleasure meeting all of you. It was a pleasure attending this conference, and of course, real pleasure meeting the students, young students. And I look forward to meeting all of you once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Your presence has truly enriched this gathering, and we are grateful for the knowledge and inspiration you have imparted. Thank you once again for your time, your guidance, and making this event a memorable and meaningful experience for all the attendees. Now it's a time for announce the best paper during the various tracks in the conference. To announce the names of the presenters, I would like to call Dr. Aram and Dr. Arif to please come on the stage.
Uh, Very good evening, everyone. First of all, our chief guest, Professor Azhar Kazi sir. Uh, this is the first time we are seeing you outside your book in person. We are grateful after seeing 5 editions of your book. First time we are meeting you in person. It's a great privilege. Thank you. Our guest of honors, Professor Sita Mishra ma'am and Professor Salman ma'am. Our own Professor Sikandar sir, our own registrar, honorable registrar sir, uh, respected Dean Professor Nadeem Al Haq sir, our own track 3 we have from Human Resource Management, chaired by Professor Prachi Bhatt, Professor Shruti Tripathi, and co-chaired by Dr. Shikha. We have got the best paper ICSD 203, Evolving Expatriates Hiring Practices, Shifting from Global Mobility to a Strategic Talent Acquisition in the Digital Age. Nida Tanveer, please come on stage. Today we had 3 tracks in the morning, track 4, 5 and 6. Track 4, Public Policy and Sustainability, chaired by Professor Saidun Nisa and co-chaired by Dr. Noria Faruqi. The best paper award goes to ICSD 204, a study on awareness, knowledge and practices for biomedical waste management system in rural hospital by Sophia. Miss Sophia, please. Track 5, Corporate Governance and Finance, which was chaired by Professor Chand Tandon and co-chaired by Dr. Mohammad Sarim. The best paper award goes to ICSD 179, a bibliometric perspective on explainable AI, insights and trends from the finance sector by Mr. Vikas and co-chaired by Dr. Mohammad Shafiq and Dr. Sanabi. I'd request Dr. Arhan to proceed further.
Okay, in track 6, AI and Tech, chaired by Professor Asif Zamir and co-chaired by Dr. Azmi Khan. The best paper award goes to ICSG 232, AI Intervention in Personal Branding, a review and theoretical foundation for future research by Unaza Irshad and Rahila Faruqi. Please come on stage. In track 7, Marketing, chaired by Professor Kamalun Nabi and co-chaired by Dr. Satab Siraj. The best paper goes to ICSD 234, a critical review of applications of augmented reality and services by Sara Fahim and Syed Wajid Ali. Please come on stage. In track 8, Finance, chaired by Professor Lata Rani and co-chaired by Dr. Matlubullah Khan. The best paper goes to ICSD 225, a comparative analysis of volatility estimation by Mehak Manzoor and Dr. Saif Siddiqui. In track 9, Entrepreneurship and Trade, chaired by Dr. Arvind P. Arahant and co-chaired by Dr. Nusrat M. Rahman. The best paper goes to ICSD 165, Performance of Leather Firms in India, a measure of technical efficiency and its determinants by Mohsin Taj and Professor Nisar Ahmad Khan. Yes. I will request the chair to guys to take the chair.
Just one more update. In track number 4, Public Policy and Sustainability, the award for the best paper is being shared by 2 authors, ICSD 204 and ICSD 109, with the same marks. ICSD 109, the Employee Compensation Management and the Indian Aviation Industry, Challenges and Strategy Post-Pandemic, Mr. Tanmay Sardar and Mr. Deepesh. Thank you once again, all the dignitaries. We really appreciate it. And I'd like to thank the whole team of the technical session and tracks, specifically the scholars, Mr. Sajid, Ashok, Vikram, Musab, Sundas, um, Rachika, Rahisha, Maria. There are some more. I might not be taking the names, all the names. And thank you all the student coordinators who had been there consistently with us for both the days. Thank you for making it successful. Thank you for bringing, being the pillars of that particular technical session. That was a very hectic job, but you did it well. Thank you so much once again.
Congratulations, presenters. Moving forward, Honorable Registrar Jamia Hamdard, Dr. M.A. Sikandar, is a known university administrator and has served as a registrar of two universities, Maulana Azad National Urdu University and B.R. Ambedkar University. He has also he has also headed the National Book Trust. May I request Sir to give his presidential remarks today?
सर के लिए भी एक कपलेट ठीक है हजारों साल नरगिस अपनी बेनूरी पर रोती है हजारों साल नरगिस अपनी बेनूरी पर रोती है बड़ी मुश्किल से होता है चमन में दीदावर पैदा
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening to all. Today I am here just as a participant, not as a chair or speaker. Today I also happen to meet sir because we have been as a teacher teaching strategic management. Without his book, it may not be possible to comprehend the student because we can choose something, but when we say something as a student, they want sir ये कहाँ लिखा है मैंने जी सर का book पढ़ो so I think the first edition was 1992. It is coming up, and because he has a lot of in a many way he contributed to the our management department in the School of Commerce and Management in the Manu, serving as a school board member and like a mentor. When we were in the during Corona, we were thinking who will call international speaker. So his first name came to us. He spoke. And another thing I want to share, I just shared with him. He was my paper reviewer in a inter science paper. So this is all. So I just came. I even requested the VC sir. मैं तो वैसे जाना नहीं आप उधर जाओ शाम को. So that way we are connected. So, sir, when we talk about the sustainability and the digitization, it's marrying up is very easy. Sir has rightly pointed out, sustainability is more than it can be traced to the ever since the civilization started. If you travel into the interior places, even my hometown, it is a mother. Even the lot of things we do recycling process. Even if you marriages, everything, social functions. So sustainable is in everyday life. It is integrated in such a way to save this planet, sustainable planet. So when we talk about the digitization, so the focus on the conference is on societal value, economic. But of course, because of the management department, we have to talk about it. क्योंकि हमारा bread and butter है तो economy की बात करना है. But the important aspect is in the societal, how it is connected to society. So that is an important factor because this is what we have to pay back to the society in a way. When we talk about the something sustainability, we can be think of a sustainable university. Why can't? Institution cannot be why do when we teach sustainability, why can't we practice in the sustainability in our thing? So a lot of things could be done. I could be I was just glancing through the papers. It's a diverse background from HR to marketing and also interdisciplinary ESG and other things. So these are the standalone departments are vanishing now. We have to do something. Yesterday I was in the our pharmacy. So they are interconnected, intertwined with because of this departmentalization or whatever the silos are vanishing in the university system. We are talking about something a multidisciplinary. So we should have even the joint conference with other department also to have something. So we have a strength of pharmacy or other thing. We should come with jointly with the science and put together when we are talking about this. This is my suggestion. So I want to. It's a great job done by our department, our Sana, the head of the department, हमारा डीन है. There are invisible people who are here. We cannot take. So thank you. We have nicely they put up all the panelists, and I want to congratulate the department. So on behalf of the vice chancellor also. So wish you the participant maybe somebody maybe experienced in a first time experience they may be presenting a paper how comfortable and all. So I look forward many such conferences in a very relevant topic. That's all I want to say. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable time. Your presence has truly enriched the gathering, and we are grateful for the knowledge and inspiration you have imparted. As we come to the close of our valedictory session, I invite Dr. Nuria Faruqi, Associate Professor, to propose the vote of thanks. Ma'am.
Assalamu alaikum. A very good evening to you all. All's well that ends well. So today we are towards the end of our 2 days conference, and many of you have witnessed the inaugural session as well. So when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. As we bring this insightful conference on sustainability and digitalization to a close, I stand here filled with gratitude and optimism. Over the past days, we have witnessed the confluence of two powerful forces, sustainability and digital innovation, that hold the potential to transform our world for the better. On behalf of the Honorable Dean, Professor Syed Nadibul Haq, Head of the Department, Professor Sana Beg, all faculty members, research scholars, students, I take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you profoundly from the bottom of our hearts. First and foremost, I am grateful to Professor Azhar Kazmi Saab for kindly consenting to be the chief guest. What more could have been asked for, sir? We will always cherish these moments spent with you. Thank you for coming and gracing the occasion. I'm thankful to the registrar, Dr. M.A. Sikandar Sahab, for giving the presidential remarks. Despite being so busy, you agreed upon our request, sir. Thank you so much. A very big thank you to Professor Salma Ahmed from Aligarh Muslim University for sparing her time out from a busy schedule. Ma'am, you traveled all the way from Aligarh and graced our occasion. I fail in words to express my gratitude to Professor Sita Mishra, who is always a very busy person but was kind enough to accept our invitation and travel from IMT Ghaziabad and rendered her precious moment.